Greetings, YouTube. I wanted to share one of my PowerPoints that I actually shared with my class in my doctoral program in education. First, I started with a little, starter just to help people understand the ideas I wanted to convey. Expressions using the term black. A blank person is mean and unloving. What do you think it is? Black-hearted. Blank is the use of known falsehoods, partial truths to confuse an opponent. Black propaganda. Blank is the act of threatening someone to do something that would hurt them in some way in order to force the threatened party to fulfill certain demands. What do you think it is? Blackmail. Blank is used to denote the trade of illegal goods, or alternatively, the illegal trade of otherwise legal items at considerably high prices. The black market. Blank is known as the stock market crash on October 19th, 1987. Black Monday. And blank is a register of undesirable persons or entities, or when one is banned, they are added to this register. It's a blacklist. Now, here are some things that equate black to good. The new black is a reference to the latest trend. The Maasai tribe saw black as a symbol of life and prosperity. The Native Americans thought it was life-giving. The deity of the Hindu god is the Krishna, is the black one. The ideal masculine mate is tall, dark, and handsome. And it turns out that 70% of the universe is dark energy, and that dark matter makes up about 25%. She wrote the book, The Isis Papers, The Keys to the Colors. She is sometimes thought as being a racist or homophobic. And basically she analyzed the behavior, thought patterns, and history of Caucasian white people. And she looked at the control of colors or underclass people, I guess you can say, through white supremacy. She coined the term genetic annihilation and also color inferiority. She saw racism as a power system that basically is at the helm of the total white institutions that we face every day. And it's in education, it's in politics, it's in any of the institutions or systems. She thought that the ultimate purpose of using racism was for white genetic survival and also to prevent white genetic annihilation. She saw that it's a lot of people on the globe who have color, and then you have a few amount that don't have color or don't have the different hues of color that people of color have, and that if we were to mix with them, bip bam boom, that goes their genetics and their genes. And she's not the first person. Mendel was another person who actually started it with flowers, where he actually cross-pollinated flowers and saw that the white rose and the red rose would make a pink rose, showing that the genetics of the white rose was actually recessive. Okay? So, the color confrontation of the Cress theory involves color inadequacy, the fear of annihilation. It also promotes inadequacy in others. It controls the masses. It's a device for survival. And also, she saw it as a mental disorder. Okay? She states that white or color deficient Europeans responded psychologically with a profound sense of numerical inadequacy, outnumbered, and color inferiority. Okay, so you can read the rest of that. And she believed that basically, based on what they saw when they explored the world, is we have to produce some type of system to keep these colors at bay. Yeah. The science behind Welsing's theory, she also has a particular chapter called the original MFer, meaning mother effer. That means you're going to do your mother wrong. Where is mother? Mother is Mother Africa. She thought that the recessive Africans that were coming up felt very inadequate, teamed up together, and left Africa and went to Europe, and where they kept on blending and making different, various degrees of whiteness. Now, is she wrong? You can see that in the Washington Post. This was dated from December 16, 2005. The scientist said, hey, there is a DNA mutation that has occurred because it accounts for the white skin. Okay, and it's because white people are recessive. I mean, it's not really racist or being prejudiced. It's just Mendelian science, I guess you can say. Now, she said that some of the Europeans, and she thinks even most, have been struck with a narcissistic personality disorder, and she understood it to be narcissistic because when you watch TV or even interact with people from the European descent, not all Europeans, I'm pretty sure, but the majority of what we see, meaning they own the whole world, and we see what they believe through the media. We see what they want to cultivate through science and how they think. And it is a preoccupation of success, how to become rich, preoccupation of power. I mean, how many times did you see the commercials with the white women in the hair and I'm so beautiful, you can be beautiful, look how beautiful I am. Preoccupation of it. And also the other things that come with it is a lack of empathy, not really caring about the plight of others, feeling like they are entitled, like, oh please, do you know who I am type thing. Okay, that's a narcissistic personality disorder. Also, the obsession with black male genitalia, the use of symbols in our society. She looked at this through all the different ball games, billiards, the black ball, the white ball, all the different colored balls, bowling, the black ball with the white pins and the red necks, basketball, the brown ball getting shot into white hoops, and she believed that to be the genitalia of a white woman. Football, the brown ball going through the white field goal, a goal, I don't know what it is actually, I'm not, whatever the goal. Hockey, the black puck being shot into the white net. We can go on forever, okay? But it's an obsession with brown and black and brown cigars and dark chocolate and anyway, let's move on. Black children is where I wanted to focus on, and this is in chapter 20 of the ISIS papers, and she basically says that before the children are born, they are already assigned a place in the system. It is the place that their parents hold. So if you are poor and black, if you poor and white or whatever, you already have a place for your children when they come into this world. And she also stated that the system helps to mold white children as functional superiors, and all other people are basically functional inferiors, and it's going to keep up with that trend within the system. That's what the system does. You're going to always have superiority and inferiority. And she believed that the more melanin, I mean the darker the berry, the more inferiorization. Like we heard it before, don't marry anyone darker than yourself. Come on, that's not a preference. That's because you have been molded into watching white faces your whole life, white media, and you say, that's the best I could ever have. Come on, face the fact. It's books written on this. Read. Okay? She said some of the faces of infertilization that you see include poor housing, poor health care. You see the schools all deteriorated. They don't make new black schools. They don't make new schools in the cities. I'm in a different city than you, I suppose, and I bet you there have not been in years any new buildings because that's what happens. Okay? And she also says that it develops a negative self-concept. Okay, and as you lose respect for other people that look like you, you also start to have group destructive behavior patterns. Okay, and now you are sharing with your oppressor, oppressing your own people. So you share fully in the process of your own oppression sometimes. You see. Now, here is the process. She goes from it prevents you from developing at your maximal ability or genetic ability when you're a black child. You only have permission from the system to just survive or exist. You can't go that far. It always going to keep on grabbing you back. If you were to be developed at your maximal development, that would prove white superiority is false. So guess what? Process 4. The system is not structured to destroy itself, so you would never try to, not you, but the system would never allow you to develop at your maximal development, or would destroy itself. Let's look at her quote. She said, sufficient data and evidence are in. She wrote this in 1974. Sufficient data and evidence are in. After 127 years of emancipation, the white collective has demonstrated that it does not intend to develop black children maximally. So you know that these schools do not intend to develop your children at their maximum development. You know that. I know that. Okay, so here's some of Frances Cress Welsing's standards and codes. I wrote a few down. She says, first of all, you got to get self-respect within yourself about who you are, your color, your culture. Stop having children out of wedlock. And I discuss this with all my friends to teach their children and tell them, wait to get married. Wait to get married to have sex. I know it sounds crazy because sex is all over TV and everywhere else and in the music. But when you have a child when you're younger, it just equals poverty. You know that. I have girlfriends that had children at 14 and 15 years old, and guess what? It took them about 18 to 20 years to get up from out from under. All right. Teach black children that academic achievement is the highest priority. Stop teaching them to run a ball or to be a star. Get off of that. You know, that's not why the Creator made you to run a ball. It's purpose. It's purpose out there for your children. And it's not in a ball game or on TV. Reestablishing the black male role in the black household. Get a man in the house and not no bum. You know, look for, man, some of these men that these women are passing up are some good guys. Maybe, you know, my girlfriends, we used to call guys like that corny. They're a little corny. Guess what? That corny guy got money, and most of the time he got more morals than Peanut and them. You know? All right. And then my favorite is placing the black man as the breadwinner, and place the black female role as the child socializer. And that black women should begin to struggle to achieve the opportunities enjoyed by white females. That is to stay at home while being adequately supported by their husbands, to provide adequate socialization and needed care and attention to your children. That means enjoying yourself, ladies. Enjoying yourself if you can find yourself a good man. Now, let me put a disclaimer in right here. I'm not showing this to anyone to make white people feel bad, or say that white people are not better than us, or, well, I'm not saying they're better than us, sorry for that, or saying that white people are inferior than us. That's not the game I play, or the game that most people who are educated play. It's just mere science, and it's saying that this woman has taken the psychological framework of how white people have thought. And this is just for their survival. They didn't want to mix with us because they wanted to keep up their own cultures. That is understandable. To me it is. But there was other ways of doing it. See? It was other ways, and white supremacy was not one of the ways. But that is it, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and peace and blessings.